Hi everyone, how are you doing? I hope you all are doing fine and I hope you're good. Today we will have the lesson adjectives and adverb. First, you have to log in using the aplusstudent.com. Alright, so click on your name. This lesson is for the KG, G1 and G2. So we will get adjective and adverb under the grade 2. So go to the grade 2, you can see adjective and adverb. The lesson will be choose between adjectives and adverb. Is the word an adjective or an adverb? Alright, so an adjective is a word that tells about a noun. Adjective often tell what kind and how many. Okay, so it's like saying Judy saw 3 stars in the sky. Now, these 3 stars, the adjective tells about how many. So, when it talks about how many, it talks about like how many numbers or something that you can see. But there are also some words that replaces numbers, like so we could have like many, and many could stand as like how many or even some, because this tells us that there's a certain number of some certain things. So some of the adjectives tell you how many or what kind. For example, what kind, you can say that I saw a beautiful ball. So what kind of ball did you see? Now beautiful there is what kind. All right, so it tells us what kind of ball you saw, and the beautiful ball is what you saw. All right, so adjective tells about a noun. All right, now for adverb, adverb tells about a verb. Okay, adverb often tell how, when, or where something happens. Now Grace ran quickly. Now most adverb tell how ends with ly, like the adverb quickly. Okay, so most of the adverb that end with ly are telling you about an adverb. So if a word is ending with ly, it's possible that it could be an adverb, yeah, but then sometimes it is not an adverb, so you have to make sure that you take note of it. Sometimes you can have adjectives that end with ly, but the most common is an adverb because it's telling you how something happened. So just like saying Grace ran quickly, and the adverb tells us how Grace ran. Okay. All right, let's look at some examples. Okay. All right, so choose the word that best describe the word in bold. All right, so we have the baby cried dash for her mother. So The baby what? Cried softly for her mother. So you have two options, soft or softly, right? So obviously the adverb would be the most suitable one there. So the baby cried softly because you cannot say the baby cried soft for her mother. No, but the baby cried softly would be the right one. Adam and Brennan dance dash together. So we have also the adverb here, wonderfully. All right, because you cannot use an adjective here, it would not be suitable. Okay, so Mrs. Avila Dash rocks the baby to sleep. So we have Mrs. Avila lightly rocks the baby to sleep because if you say Mrs. Avila lights rock the baby to sleep, then it is impossible and that's going to be wrong. But if you say lightly, then it's the best and the most suitable one. Okay, so we'll move on to the test and we will answer the questions together. All right, so choose the word that describes the noun in bold. The dash train flies along the track. So the quick train or the quickly train. What do you think here? All right, so we will have the quick train flies along the tracks. So the quick train, okay, is Owen Dash to be on the new football team? Is Owen gladly or is Owen glad? What is the right one here? All right, so is Owen glad to be on the new football team? So glad, right? Okay. We have Mrs. Hoffman cares dash for her children. Greatly or great? All right, cares greatly for her children. All right, keep your money in a dash place, safe or safely. All right, so we have in a safe place. So keep your money in a safe place. The lady smiled dash for the picture, warm or warmly. All right, so the lady smiled warmly for the picture. Okay. Do you keep your dash papers in a safe? Your important or importantly paper? All right, so do you keep your important papers in a safe? Did Bob send a dash card to Erin for her birthday? A nice or nicely card? All right, so did Bob send a nice card to Erin for her birthday? Nice card. All right, Zane saw a vash mouse in the field. A large or largely mouse? All right, Zane saw a large mouse in the field. A large mouse. Okay. I dash gave Erin the last piece of pie. I gladly or I glad gave Erin. All right, I gladly gave Erin the last piece of pie. Okay, so that's it for this lesson. If you haven't done the first lesson under this, you have to make sure you try to complete it in your free time. We'll move on to the next, which is the word an adjective or an adverb. So we know that adverb tells us about a noun, and adjective tells us about a noun. And adjective often tell what kind or how many. Just like Judy saw 3 stars in the sky, the adjective tells how many stars Judy saw. An adverb is a word that tells about a verb. Adverb often tell how, when, where. Grace ran quickly. The adverb tells how Grace ran. Now, most adverbs tell how end with ly, like the adverb quickly. All right, let's look at some examples. So, is the word in bold an adjective or an adverb? Ellen and Susan race happily to the swings. So, the word in bold is what? An adverb. Happily. The boys dance wildly to the silly songs. Is this an adjective or an adverb? Wildly is a what? Adverb. Okay. So, Seth will wash the dirty dishes. Now, is this adjective or adverb? Of course, it's an adjective. All right, so let's move on to the test. Okay, so you can share your answers with me. All right, in the new family picture, Clayton smiled brightly. Now, is the word in bold an adjective or an adverb? So, the word in bold describes the word in bold describes the word that is underlined, smiled. But yeah, is it an adjective or an adverb? All right, so we have what? Adverb. Justin bought a large pot for his plants. Adjective or adverb? So we have adjective. Frank has 4 tickets to Sunday's game. Adjective or adverb? All right, so we have adjective for four. Okay. So the clever kitten climbs on the table. Adjective or adverb? All right. So we have clever adjective. Okay. The grumpy sister needs some sleep. Adjective or adverb? All right. Grumpy, we have what? Adjective. Okay. The young boy loudly bangs the kitchen pots. So, what is the right one? Adjective or adverb? All right. So, we have adverb. All right. The baby crawled slowly across the kitchen floor. So, adjective or adverb? All right. Slowly, we have adverb. Okay. The girls carefully looked both ways before crossing the street. So, adjective or adverb? So, carefully, we have adverb. Okay. Seth will wash the dirty dishes. Adjective or adverb? All right. So, we have adjective for dirty. Okay. So, Ellen and Susan race happily to the swings. Adjective or adverb? All right. So, we have happily, which is an adverb. Mr. Owen smiles kindly at the young children. What is the answer here? Adjective or adverb? All right, so we have adverb kindly. So Tess has a great answer to your question. Adjective or adverb? All right, so we have adjective. Okay, so that's it for our lesson under adverbs and adjective. Can you tell me if you have any questions? All right, since we have no question, we'll end now for here for today. Have a good weekend. See you all next time. Bye everyone.